Hi, I'm Alex Hillman, Project and Community Manager at Hunters Entertainment, and welcome to Community Plays. This series will showcase an assortment of Hunters Entertainment games and members of our outstanding community. We'll have a range of one-shots and mini-campaigns where you take control. If you'd like to find out how you can get more engaged with Community Plays directly, be sure to join us on Discord and our Twitch channel. Our moderators in chat will provide you with all the information you need in order to get connected. But now, on to some games.
Welcome everyone, welcome to my dining room, and welcome to this game of Teens in Space. Today we're going to be playing A Menace Among the Teens in Space, a sci-fi murder mystery. Let's welcome our players today. Let's begin with Avian.
Hello, my name is Jules. I'm excited to play with y'all. I will be playing Avian the Prolean captain.
And Chick.
Hi, my name's Harold. I'm going to be playing Reptiline, the scoundrel.
And Thomas.
Hello, my name is Red, and I will be playing Thomas, the shipborn.
And Ace.
Hi, I'm Sin. I'm playing Ace the Chimaevan.
Welcome aboard. You are flying on the Persephone. You are coming away from your last mission. You actually managed to make a little bit of money doing a little bit of smuggling. It's another story for another day. We are, let's see, who is our first mate? Great. Chick, you are flying the plane. Your spaceship. Maybe it looks like an airplane. You are flying our spaceship, and there is a beep, beep, beep that comes up, and the communication sensor on your console is starting to beep.
No! Hit the button.
There is a message. It's really fuzzy, it's cracked, and it's coming through. You get that there's an SOS message, but it's hard to get the words from the signal.
Does anybody else hear this?
Thomas, are you in the room? Are you on the bridge?
Yes, Thomas would be on the bridge, and he would walk over to him and go, "Are you sure that you're doing this right?" And then he will try to mess with the dials himself.
Messing with the dials, it comes in a little clearer, it comes in a little worse, it comes in a little clearer, but you can tell that it's a universal distress signal.
I think we should go check this out. I'll go get, let me go get the captain.
You're as close to a boss as I care about.
Okay, set in a course. That's right. I'll be right back. And he'll run off at that point to head to find the captain.
Excellent.
Actually,
Captain,
he'll like use the communication network to get the captain.
Captain, you get an intercom message on your ship from Thomas. Where are you and what are you doing?
I would say I am in my bunk at the moment, reading. I trust Chick enough to, it's a pretty calm day. We're heading out from a mission to have things pretty much handled with the ship. So I'm taking a little break.
Thomas, the comm is open. What do you say?
There's somebody in trouble, I think. I told him to go check it out, so I hope that's not bad. Maybe you should come up here.
On my way, maybe ask me next time before giving directives, just so we can be clear. You're doing great. It's fine. It's fine. You're doing great.
Okay. All right. I got this.
How far away are your quarters from the bridge, Avian?
Right next door.
Lickety split, you're on the bridge. Of course, your room is right next to the bridge. You want to be close to the action. You come in and you see Chick and Thomas leaning over the console, and the communication light is going off, and you hear what sounds like a universal distress signal.
Sounds like there's drama going on somewhere. I mean, we're fresh off a victory. We might as well. Are you guys down for some action?
Yeah. I'm right there.
If there's
Yeah.
money, I'm there.
Hopefully there will be.
There are coordinates attached to this SOS signal, and there's also some information along with the feed. It looks like a list of crew members and what should be the diagram or the schematics of the ship, but the schematics itself isn't coming in clearly. You're getting two pieces, one, the actual map, and then the piece with all of the different compartments on it, but it's not matching up. So you have these pieces of information, but they're not matching up. The area is not too far from here. And actually, as you look out to your viewer, you see a large ship. It's circular. It's a ring. And in the center of the ring appears to be an asteroid of some kind. There appears to be energy coming to and from the ring in the asteroid, but you can see on one side of it flames coming out of this large ring. And you know that can only mean one thing when you see flames in space. There's an oxygen leak. Something is leaking. As you get closer, you get another communication blip on the console. Let me see. Ace, are you there on the bridge as well?
I've probably come up to take a look and then seen the flames and gone down to get like rebreathers.
All right, so Ace is actually getting prepared for the mission. You get closer and again, the SOS, it's crackly. You can hear a voice, but it's not coming in quite very clearly. This message comes with a set of beam-in coordinates.
You got that, chick?
Yeah, I think I can do it.
We're headed in. Be ready for anything, crew.
So how do you guys beam in and out of your ship? What is the mechanics by which you do that?
Personal transporters.
Personal transporter. So everyone has a personal transporter on there. It's connected to your clothing somewhere. You can press a button and it is synced to your ship. So you can put coordinates in for where you're going, but that second button always brings you back to your ship. Everyone has their buttons. Captain, they are all awaiting your orders.
Beam in.
You hit the buttons simultaneously and the beam over is not pleasant. You end up on what appears to be the bridge of this large space station, but there was energy interference or something. There were bright lights as you were transferring through, not what you're used to. Everyone give me a grit roll, please. This is going to be our first roll of the game. Let's see how we handle that beam over. Difficulty is going to be a 7. Thomas, you don't feel so hot. Chick is fine.
He's probably off to the side, and he is relieving himself from his soy paste that he ate earlier.
Excellent. The Prolian, our captain, it's fine. Constitution of a Prolian. You don't feel so great. Hayes, you feel really bad. Oh gosh, space sickness, not good.
I don't have a gag reflex, being a bird, but like looks slightly green, shakes it off, looks around, starts assessing the room.
In the room, you see what appears to be the captain. Things are chaos in this space. You can actually see an area on the edge of this bridge that is crushed, and you can see part of the outside. You can see that there's a force field trying to hold the bridge together, but you can see space on the other side of this field, and you can see the flames. Oxygen is leaking out of this room. The captain is running around furiously. She has cleared the bridge. She's the only one in there. She turns to you and says, "Thank goodness you're here. I'm glad someone got our SOS. We're looking for someone to help us." She turns around and sees a bunch of teenagers. When the captain turns around, what does she see, Ace? What does she see when she looks at you?
At the moment, 5 foot, basically 5 foot nothing, but Ace carries himself as if he were a lot taller, with blue-green iridescent feathers, and a large hooked pointed beak that doesn't look like it should be capable of speech because it doesn't have lips, but is somehow.
Her gaze turns from Ace over to Thomas. What does she see?
Thomas is a smaller, skinnier kid. He's not very heavily built or anything like that. Definitely not built for combat. But he does move with a extremely graceful nature. Like he isn't clumsy or anything like that. And he seems extremely natural in space. He has red hair and is clean shaven, unlike myself. And that's pretty much that.
Her eyes continue to pass over this crew of teenagers, and she sees Avian. What does she see?
She sees a humanoid standing fairly tall and sturdy, a pretty sturdy build, in a sort of classic pilot jacket, clearly trying really hard to look professional, with a ring of eyes, 7 total eyes all the way around her head.
She clocks you as probably the leader as her eyes drift over to Chick. Chick is trying to camouflage.
I'm against the wall like this, not very stealthily. I'm kind of like purple, and the wall's gray.
The captain looks at you and kind of sighs. She says, "My name is Malamine, and I guess this is all the help I'm going to get. I've managed to clear the bridge, but I still have some crew members that are here on the station. I have to." She looks around and she actually pulls you guys in a little bit closer. "Something is wrong with my station. You see out there?" And she actually points to the opposite side, and you guys can see through a window, sort of through a corridor, through a window, and you can see the asteroid outside, and it's spinning. And she says, "This is our power source. We get our power source from that asteroid, but I'm sure someone has sabotaged it. It is overloading the systems one by one, and has told the computer, I don't know how, reprogram the computer, I don't know what happened, that the integrity of the asteroid is paramount. And so it's shutting down the systems on the ship, starting with our air one by one. Every half hour, another section of the station goes out, and I can't stop it." Her frustration is very clear. She's like, "I'm going to continue to stay here and try and figure out what they use to program the computer. But I'm sure it was someone on this station. There was no one else here. We've had no visitors except for," and again, she kind of sighs, "you guys. Can you get the rest of my crew off this ship?"
We've got you covered. Don't you worry. We'll make sure that this is taken care of. Right? And he turns to the captain.
"We have personal transporters. We do not have enough for your crew. So that promise is not necessarily one we can keep, but it's one we will try to keep for the time being. Let's try to stabilize this thing however we can."
"I have here," and she actually opens a compartment on what appears to be the captain's chair, and she hands you a set of 5 what look like personal transporters. "If you can program these to your ship, get them to the rest of my crew. Everyone else, the entire staff, they actually managed to escape via our escape pods. One of them malfunctioned, which is why the rest of us are stuck here." And again, her frustration is really apparent. She's gritting her teeth. "Please, if you can get these to the rest of my crew and get them onto your ship, I'll keep trying to shut it down from here." And she turns around back to her chair, and you guys see that the force field that's keeping space out and inside in is definitely failing. She sighs. Guys, go, 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 and starts pushing you out into the hallway away from the bridge. The last thing you see as you turn around, she takes her hand and slams a button on her captain's chair. You see the inside of space starting to come in. The doors close. On her face is a look of resolve, sadness, and maybe a small bit of pride as those doors shut. You hear as the bridge buckles and explodes out into space. You are now standing in a corridor. This is a round space station. You know, you could probably go either way, but it seems like maybe, I don't know, everyone roll your brain. Let's see if we know what we think looks like the best way to go. Difficulty will be 5. Everyone take an adversity token,
Yes.
except for Ace. Ace, you get the feeling that because you're the gunner, you have a sixth sense about maybe where the security area is, and you're guessing that's going to be down this corridor to your left.
Security probably is down here. You want it close to the bridge in case there's trouble. Let's go see if anyone's hiding there.
Let's go. Avian, perfect sprinter form, takes off and looks back. Come on. We gotta move.
Cox Blaster follows.
Thomas is
You
on his tail.
sprint, but it's like 4 steps. So it's like the most like 4 steps you've ever taken. There is a door there. It is closed. It is a sliding door like this. There's a panel. Looks like maybe browse it, talk into it. I don't know. What do you do?
You check the sensors to make sure that there isn't a hull breach on the other side of that. The last thing we want to do is open the door directly into space. That's just a thought.
Excellent. Thomas, do you have a device that does that on your person?
Thomas probably has several devices, none of which are useful. He
Cool.
collects them on occasion.
Cool.
He's got a lollipop spinner. He's got a couple of other things. He knows that he wants to get to the environmental suits, but with my 3 on my brains check, he thought this is where they would be at, and then he was told this is security, so he's decided to keep his mouth shut.
Okay. So you're standing in front of the door. Thomas, do you say that out loud that maybe we should check the door?
Yes, he does say that at least, because he's been born in space. He knows that that's bad.
I might have a device.
Roll your brain. See if you remember to bring it with you. You know, with all the commotion and getting your personal transporter on, just wasn't something you brought with you.
Yeah.
You all hear banging on the other side of the door.
Doesn't seem like it's out of oxygen over there then.
Yeah, I think we should open this up as quickly as possible. I could try to rewire this, but well, we can try to rewire it.
I'll say, oh, for goodness sake, and step forward and press the button.
You press the button, the door's open. Inside isn't so much a security deck as more of like a closet. There are monitors and there's no place to sit. There's a desk, but you do see a figure in there. Everyone can roll their brain. It'll be a difficulty of 7. So Chick, you recognize this immediately. Everyone else take an adversity token. It appears to be an upgraded drone. So drones are mechanics that as they grow and as they do their tasks, they kind of begin to get sentience and they start to upgrade themselves. And this one seems to have upgraded itself to almost a humanoid form. It is staring at the screen that has just gone blank, that you assume was probably the bridge.
Hey, drone, what are you doing?
The drone turns around and it says, "My name is Ria. And who are you on my station?"
What station is this?
This is the Villigant. You are on my ship.
We received your SMS your SOS call. What's going on? Your captain said that someone or something was sabotaging your power source. Do you have any more information?
The computer, and again, there's some frustration there. And that banging sound that you heard, you realize that there's a desk that's been knocked over and hit up against the wall, and there's a dent in the wall. Someone has reprogrammed the computers. Something has told the station that the asteroid is of utmost importance and to sacrifice the station in order to save it or keep it there. I don't know. I can't decipher it.
You see. First of all, your first priority is to get all of your people off the ship, off the station. Do you have any cameras or anything like that that we can use to locate the rest of your crew?
There is a wall of monitors, of screens, and you can see that there are views of other rooms. You see a view of what looks like maybe crew's quarters, but it's empty. You see a view of what appears to be a medical bay and an individual running around frantically in the medical bay. Again, though, it seems to be that there's nobody in there. You see the engine room and you see a figure leaned over a desk working frantically. There is a monitor that shows you the cargo hold, which also appears at this time to be empty. There are boxes around, containers, but there doesn't seem to be any individuals in there. You see a monitor that shows what appears to be the crew galley, and you see an octopus-like figure cooking. And then, of course, there is several monitors around that show hallways. In these monitors that show the hallways, you see floating drones, kind of floating, going around and around and around, down the corridor and back again. And you see a monitor that is showing the escape pod bay, and there is one escape pod left, and 8 others have been fired, but there's one that's still there that appears to be unfired.
Is the escape pod the only thing that is in that bay? Is there no other?
That's
like,
all
ships or
that's
anything
left.
Like that? And
Yeah.
Thomas would specifically look for spacesuits. Like in that bay, there should be hopefully some spacesuits, since that is near like an air dock or something like that.
Roll your brain. Let's see what we find.
Oh, this is
You
not
did
good
ask,
for
you are
him.
looking specifically, so we'll say that's a 7.
Okay. All right.
You're
so
looking at
I
the
got
monitor.
a 4, and I only have 1 adversary token, so not enough.
The image is fuzzy. Actually, as you guys are looking at all the monitors, you can see that the clarity is going in and out. There's a little bit of static and snow, and you can almost, as you watch this on the screen, you can actually feel the ship doing the same. Little energy surges and pulling back, and energy surges and pulling back. It's a very disquieting feeling.
How many live members are there on this ship that we need to get off?
Ria looks up at the screens and she counts them out. 1, because I'm going to count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Other than myself, there seems to be 4 others. 4 others and myself, 5 total. You realize that the captain had given you 5 transporters.
What about you?
You look at her and you realize that perhaps she is an upgraded drone. She scoffs. I can stay here as long as I need to. As the oxygen shuts down, I don't breathe air.
All right. How do we communicate with you then? Because you have the best, so to speak, bird's eye view of the station with these security monitors.
She takes you out into the hallway, and in the hallway in the corridor, there are windows that look out into where you can see the asteroid, but between those windows are large panels. She puts a hand up and she says, just go ahead and put a hand on here, and you see a communication grid come up. Just say my name and it will contact me.
Does it work with these?
It should. We have had all manner of crew on the Vigilant.
And you said her name was, I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch her name the first time around.
Ria.
Ria. Okay.
We should
Yeah. Go ahead.
we gotta go. We gotta move. The oxygen is shutting off. We only have enough breathing apparatuses for us. Is that right, Ace?
Unfortunately so. Let's go.
We should. I know this is not something that you normally would suggest, but I'm just going to throw this out here. If we're going to get to all of them, we're going to have to split up.
I'm with Thomas.
Chick immediately volunteers to go with Thomas.
I guess that puts me with Ace. I'm gonna walk over to Thomas, put my hand on his shoulders, and be like, "Get out of here safely."
Always. You stay safe.
All right, Thomas and Chick, which direction do you go? Do you go to your left or do you go to your right?
I'm going to ask Ria which way the cargo hold is.
The cargo hold is directly across from the bridge, kind of halfway around from here.
We should head there. In the cargo hold, there has to be environmental suits. That'll give us a fighting chance to be here even longer.
Well, I'm following you.
Oh, I'm leading? Oh, yeah, I'm the first mate. That's right. Let's do this. And he takes off running.
All right, so that leaves Avian and Ace to go to their right.
I look at Ace, don't say a word, and just sort of nod, and then just take off.
Excellent. You head off towards your right. You pass the doors of the bridge. You can see now that the double slider doors of the bridge have started to buckle in. Space is trying to get into the station. The next set of doors, again, double set doors, they're closed, and there is a panel right next to it.
I'll take a deep breath and put my hand on the panel.
You put the hand on the panel and it slides open and you see the bay with the escape pods. There are 4 on top, 3 on the bottom. Did I say 9? We'll say that there's 4 on top, 4 on the bottom. We'll say there was 8. Ria was confused. The one on the bottom left has not been fired and it is blinking a yellow light.
While we're in the room, I look to Avian and I say, do you think there's a possibility that somebody on the crew sabotaged the escape pods?
I think it's possible if someone's sabotaging the fuel source. I do think it's strange that a handful of the pods got off fine and only one of them malfunctioned.
Why don't... Cover me. I move towards the escape pod. Is there like a door or something to the pod that's open or whatever?
There's a big round hatch and it looks like the round hatch swirls open and opens almost an iris where one would go in and then it would swirl closed. It is half in and sort of half out of the space station. So you imagine then it gets fired out into space once the passengers have entered.
How many people can fit in one of these things? Because you said there were supposed to be 6 crew members. The captain's down, so there's 5 left. And then how many other staff members? And they only have 8 escape pods? That doesn't make any sense.
Roll a d20. Roll a random d20.
This will be fun.
We'll let the dice decide. It's my favorite thing to do. Okay, cool. So it looks like these are larger transports that may be up to, depending on the size of the species, anywhere between 10 and 16 individuals might be able to fit in there. That would be,
Okay,
more without equipment, less, much less, if someone was also trying to transport equipment.
Okay. Can I check inside this particular pod to see if anybody's, hiding out in there?
So there is a panel next to it. There appears to be a switch that opens it next to the yellow blinking light. You can hit that if you like.
Sidearm in hand and touch the panel.
You hit the panel and the iris begins to open. There's a terrible grinding sound as it hits to a halt and then closes again. It tries to open again and closes. You can tell this is just going to keep happening.
I take my hand off the button, like, ow.
The iris shudders and closes.
Yeah, okay. I look to Avian and say, I don't think anyone got inside here.
Doesn't look like it. We gotta keep moving. This
Okay,
doesn't
is
seem to be
there-
much of an option, at least for now.
Yeah. Is there anything else in the escape pod bay that catches our attention?
It's a mess in here.
Mhm.
There is a control panel, sort of a stand-up desk control panel in the middle of the room. Other than that, it's kind of an empty space, but it looks like there are crew belongings and equipment and all kinds of stuff strewn around the room. Like they were trying to get into the escape pods, but just didn't get everything and just started to put people in there instead of equipment. There's equipment everywhere. It's laying around everywhere.
Okay. If there's any like rebreathers or oxygen supplies among the stuff that's strewn around, I would like to pick it up. Possibly also a plasma torch to cut through bulkheads if we need to.
It's probably not a place that you might find a plasma torch, although someone may have dropped one. If both of you would like to roll your brain, we'll see what we can find.
Not my greatest stat.
Yeah, it's a mess in here. Avian, you look around and you do see what appears to be a toolbox of some kind. It seems mostly empty, like it emptied or opened accidentally on the way here. It's not a lot in there, nothing like a plasma cutter. There's maybe, we'll say that there is a diagnostic tool in there, but that's it.
Well, take what you can get, and I'll scoop up the diagnostic tool.
Right, add it to your inventory. In the meantime, Thomas and Chick, you're running. You're running down the hallway, and then you realize you're not quite sure how far you've gone. Roll your brain to see how far you've gone.
No. Oh, this is gonna be bad.
I know. This is a thinking game. Hey, Chick, you've kind of figured it out. You have a really good sense of direction, and you think you're about halfway across from where the bridge was. You might be near the cargo hold.
Ooh. I think we're almost there.
All right. So he'll push the button to the nearest door at that point, since he obviously doesn't know exactly where he's going.
You press the button, the doors open, and you see a figure inside. This figure seems to be wearing some sort of mech suit. There's a mask that covers their face, and they seem to be sorting and really at a loss for what to do.
Well, hey, good looking.
The figure turns.
I just realized that we didn't bring any of the little teleporters to get him out of here, that we left them with the captain.
We're not the brightest.
No.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, good call. Yeah.
We need to bring him to the captain. But we need to make sure that we search this place to make sure that we can find anything that might be useful in this situation. If we can find some sort of bulkhead spanner or anything like that we might be able to press against, like the captain's or the bridge door and the back of the bulkhead, maybe to just kind of keep it at bay, and strengthen that a little bit, that would be good too. Also, we need to find environmental suits. Environmental suits are always lifesavers. Well, that's kind of their nature.
You got any more of what you got on?
The figure looks you up and down and says, "These are the suit of my planet. I wear this to be able to be here. My name is Isa. Who are you?"
Oh, I'm Thomas. Oh, I'm the first mate of the Persephone. We're here to rescue you.
We are being rescued by teenagers.
We're the saviors.
You could not be rescued by teenagers if you want, but I think that would be a bad choice.
I prefer rescue.
Okay.
She looks around. You were talking about things that might be useful. What are you looking for?
Some sort of reinforcement bar, cargo holding clamps that we can use to stretch across from the cabin doors of the cockpit to make sure that space doesn't break through.
What happened to the bridge?
Oh, it's not there no more. So we should really get going.
Isa's looking around frantically. She's looking around. Where's the captain?
We didn't do it.
What?
She rescued us. She was a good captain. I will miss her.
Was?
No. We're under a time crunch. This is very sad. I get it. I should wait.
Was is all Isa can say. She turns to a panel in the middle of the room. It looks a little like a stand-up table, and she starts scrolling through things. These are the manifests of everything in this cargo hold. Help.
Okay. He'll quickly start looking through the manifests. I'm looking for anything that would be used to reinforce a bulkhead. He probably at least knows what those things are, being that he was in space most of his life. He's also looking for any type of environmental suits that would be good. And then at that point, he is also going to look towards Isa, and he's like, "Isa, you need to go to the escape bay. There are personal transporters with the captain, and the captain will get you a personal transporter and get you off the ship. But we got to go through these crates. Do you got a crowbar or a prying device of some sort?"
She pulls a tool off her tool belt, and it kind of looks like a little screwdriver, but at the end of it, it's got a flat head, and it's circular. And she walks up to a bin and just presses it in there and turns, and it appears to unlock all of the containers in the cargo hold.
That's perfect.
While they were doing that, I wanted to look around to see if I saw anything that looked valuable.
Okay. It is a tire bay full of cargo. I mean, there's lots of stuff in here, but they're all in containers. It seems like she has the one opening tool.
So I want something. I'm looking for like credits.
So
yeah, no, these are large containers. There doesn't seem to be anything that would hold just funds.
So Chick, what I need you to look for is anything that you would not steal, and then show that to me.
Okay.
Going through the manifest, Thomas, if you're helping, you are looking for something specific. You know what you're looking for. You are shipborne. So I'll say that's a brain of 6. Chick, okay. If you want to help, and Thomas doesn't make that roll, you can also share your adversity tokens. Or Thomas, if you'd like to spend one of your own and make that 5 of 6, you can do so.
That is what I'm going to do. I'll spend 1 to make that 5 of 6.
I didn't want to help anyway.
So scrolling through, you do see that there was some construction equipment that seemed to be out for, waiting here. Someone was going to come get it. You don't see any environmental suits, but you do see some things that look like a breathing apparatus, like just for your face, similar to what Ace picked up from your own ship.
Okay, so Ace has a couple of those. I'm going to grab a couple more because we might need them for the crew here.
Mhm.
And then, did I find anything that could reinforce that bulkhead? I know
There
that
is that
Thomas is
construction
not the
equipment.
smartest. All right, so he'll grab whatever he thinks might do the job because he's not an engineer. And then he will tell the person that they found there that that person needs to get to the escape bay. And I will take this device to the captain because the captain will know what to do.
Okay. It's a large container box of things that look like construction, outer space construction equipment. There's probably something useful in there. This container is super, super heavy.
Is there any gravity platforms or anything like that that I could like have that on to like wheel it down the corridor?
Absentmindedly, Issa takes the opening tool and hands it backwards to Chick, and then she pulls out what looks like a floating dolly, and it just kind of pops right on there. The containers seem to fit onto the dolly. It
Okay.
seems to be part of a system.
My brawn is actually pretty good, so I'm going to start loading that on there. Yeah.
Great. Roll your brawn. You're being assisted by this transport. We'll say a 6. Perfect.
Perfect.
With a show of strength, you get that container up onto the dolly, and it is floating. It is an anti-gravity dolly. It does take a little bit to push it, but you can push it back out into the hallway, into the corridor. Issa's
Okay,
looking nervous.
Then we're going to head towards where we think the captain might be, because I'm going to need their help.
Before we leave, Issa,
Yes.
go to security.
Do I go to security or do I go to the escape pods?
The escape
You said
pods.
escape pods.
There's no escape pods. Go to security.
No, that we're going to the captain, Chick.
So that would be
where the escape pods
with
are.
Us.
Issa backs out of the room, and you can tell that she doesn't want to go. This is her domain, and her job has been to keep all this cargo safe. She doesn't want to leave.
We can collect the cargo later. It'll be okay in space.
Please.
You won't.
Come with us.
I suppose you are correct.
Can I roll a charm?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, she totally believes you. You are right. This will be here when we are ready to come back. She backs out of the room into the corridor and immediately turns to the right.
As he starts to head that direction, I'm going to fall back to Chick and I'll be like, do you think there was something else useful in there?
I don't know, but I got that cool tool she had.
Oh, okay. Do you want to stay here and find out?
Yeah.
We should get back to the captain, though.
Well, I'll be here.
Okay, you just stay here. This seems like a safe place. I'll be right back. And then head off.
We have now twice split the party. This is the best. Thomas, do you follow where you saw Issa, the direction Issa going?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. We got to get to the captain.
You follow Issa. She starts to turn where she starts to disappear. You're pushing this dolly. Roll your brawn, please. It's really hard to push. In fact, you can feel, that humming feeling that you were feeling in the security office with the energy drawing in and out. And it's almost like the space station is breathing. The same thing is happening with this dolly. It's sort of oscillating in its power. And sometimes it's really easy to push, and sometimes it's not so easy to push. This system is failing.
It's definitely affecting the gravity well, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ace and Avian, what are you doing?
I believe just headed to the next room over to check out what's going on.
You walk down the corridor and you see the same kind of set of double sliding doors. The doors open and you see the galley. It's actually a very large room. Let me make sure I'm right about that. I think I am. It's a very large room. You see inside what appears to be sort of an octopus-like creature, and he is behind a counter in what appears to be sort of a kitchen area, and he appears to be cooking.
Strange time for cooking. Hello?
The creature looks up and he says, "Welcome, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Trove. There are many arms. Some are cutting, some are stirring, some are opening cabinets. There are spices and ingredients flying everywhere."
Grove, it's nice to meet you. There's a problem on your station, and by, well, last request of your captain, we're here to get you off of this ship so you don't, die or implode in space.
The captain, you say?
Yes.
Where's the captain now?
No longer.
I suppose it's my responsibility to break the news to you as interim captain, I suppose, of this ship. I'm sorry to say that your captain is dead in the vacuum of space.
You don't say, as all these arms are going around. Both of you roll brain. Okay. So it's going to be a difficulty of like 8. Yeah, he's continuing to cut and pull things out. Seems really unconcerned about what you just told him. One tentacle disappears for a second, comes back out. Seems really unconcerned. You must be very hungry. Would you like something to eat?
Can we share adversity points on this kind of a roll or no?
Yes, so you can help each other out if you want. So Avian, you would need 3 adversity tokens to make that a success.
I can drop in 2 if you'll drop in 1.
Sure.
Okay.
It would have been easy to miss, but that one hand that disappeared seemed to have pressed a button somewhere. And you heard a little, but didn't see anything.
What is that button you just pressed? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just cooking. Would you like to try something?
Do not attempt to lie. And I have both sidearms out at this point because I am done with his shit.
I'll pull a pistol.
We are attempting to save your life.
If you're not hungry, you just had to say so. Continues cooking. Completely doesn't care at all about your pistols. Just keeps cooking. I have to make sure that there's food ready for when the rest of the crew returns.
The rest of the crew is getting the heck off of this ship. We need to go. We have a transporter right here.
But I have this pot of stew going. If I leave it now, it will burn.
That is not the worst of your problems right now.
You can both roll your brain if you like. Be difficulty of 6. Okay. Yeah, reality has clearly left Trove, like a long time ago. This is clearly not an individual that is centered in any way.
Can I tell what that button might or might not have done? Like,
how would you like to?
Do I detect any like new sounds that have been added to the ambient air, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, do I hear, say, security drones or something like that?
No, nothing new.
How do these personal transporters work? They have to attach to a person and then what? Like, does the person have to activate it themselves, or can someone else activate it for, say, somebody who's unconscious?
I don't think you would need to be conscious. I think even if you wanted to, you could probably attach it to an object. we'll say that when you attach it to either a person or an object, it creates a field around the thing that it is physically in contact with, and that is what gets transported.
So if I threw it at someone, could I potentially teleport them?
They would have to catch it, and then you would have to activate it.
Okay, maybe. Okay, that's not gonna work.
Is there any delay on it? If you press it, do you immediately go? So, oh no.
Where's the button first? Where's like the thing that presses it?
So we established there were two buttons side by side. One is tuned to your ship, and the other one is tuned to whatever coordinates you set on it.
Okay.
Trove continues to cook and actually starts putting plates out on the table. Some of it
Trove.
smells really, really good.
That looks really delicious what you're cooking there. Is there, I actually have something with me that can make food. I bet it could make your food even more delicious.
We have 3 hours before the oxygen, is completely depleted. We might as well eat something and gather our strength before we go. What is this tool that you have? Two of the tentacles come together and start kind of going like that.
Here, I'll show you. So have we already programmed into it the coordinates for our ship?
Probably not.
Can I do that real quick?
Sure. Well,
I'm
your
just
brain.
inputting some information. Okay, come on, intelligence.
Yeah, and you're trying to do this on the sly. So I'm going to ask for brain, and then I'm going to ask for a charm check. Yes, you're
Can I
able to
assist
program the
by,
coordinates, but this charm check is going to be like a 12.
Can I assist the sleight of hand part anyway by trying to body block the?
Avian was able to sleight of hand kind of program the thing. In fact, you said you were going to program something for Trove, so that's not a thing. But yeah, a 4 on a 12 is not going to do it. So unless you have the equivalent number of adversity tokens.
3 adversity tokens.
Yeah, Trove isn't buying it. Trove says, come on, just go ahead and have a little something to eat. We have some time. As Trove says that, the entire space station lurches and settles back. You hear a popping sound, and you see a gust of flame out the window, but you don't know where that came from.
Can I go into the hallway and try to run outside and see if any of the doors are now caved like the one for the bridge was?
You look out into the hallway. You can see past the continuing to buckle bridge doors, and you now see that the security deck doors are closed. Thomas and Chick, you feel the same thing. You feel the whole station lurch. There's like a popping sensation. You almost kind of feel it in your ears too, like when the elevation is changing. And you're sure something has happened.
I'm immediately booking for the cargo bay again. And I'm just screaming out loud, bad idea, quick, quick, quick.
Thomas runs back into the cargo bay. Chick, you're in the cargo bay. What are you doing? How does Thomas find you?
Probably surrounded by junk.
He's decked out in furs and
Thomas, you come in, you find Chick on the floor, decked out in furs and bits and things, and there's all kinds of shiny goodness all around him. What do you do?
I know that you might want to die happy, but I would prefer we just don't die. We need to go.
Did I find any environment suits when I was digging around?
Nope.
Dang. I just found things for me.
Gravity platform's not working. We're not going to be able to brace the hull. The gravity is getting out of control. We need to get to the captain. We need to get these people out of here. and we need to do this quick. I'm not sure where anybody's at.
Sounds good for me. I'm following you again.
All right, cool. And then I just take off running in a random direction because I really don't know where I'm going.
Meanwhile, in the galley, Avian and Ace, you see someone run by the door. You see a figure in what appears to be some sort of suit or exoskeleton run by the door.
Do
On
we
instinct,
recognize it?
No, you don't recognize it.
on instinct, I think I'm gonna chase after it. Also, this octopus guy is making me uncomfortable, so I'm gonna leave.
You run after the figure out into the corridor. You see the figure stop in front of the two buckling doors of the bridge, and the figure puts a hand on it and is kind of slumped.
Oh,
Hello? I've followed Avian out into the corridor by this point. Still cautiously, like, in case they're a threat.
I'm breathing a little heavy and like, who are you and what is your business here?
My name is Isa. What is your business here? Are you with them?
Who? Oh,
Is it Issa?
It's Isa.
Okay. I thought, okay, so Issa got out. Okay.
with the small human?
Oh, it was the security, so Rhea was in there.
Rhea was in the security office.
Okay. I got my drones mixed up.
So it doesn't appear that Isa is a drone, although she does appear to be a species that does need the exoskeleton to support
Right.
herself in this environment. Yeah.
Right. If you mean with the rest of the rescue, with the folks who are trying to rescue you and your crewmates, yes, correct.
Isa looks at the door. She was a good captain.
The best thing we can do right now is get you out of here. Rhea doesn't need oxygen, hopefully can survive out there a little while longer. Maybe you can rescue her, but we have to get you off of this ship first.
Why? What happened to Rhea?
I just wordlessly point towards the buckled security bulkhead, like.
Isa backs away and is backing towards you guys, staring at those buckling doors.
Something or someone is sabotaging your station, apparently. Do you know anything about this?
No, and she's looking a little paralyzed. I'm actually going to roll a grit roll for her and see how well Isa's holding up. Her grit is a 4, so
Oh,
it's
no.
probably not going to
Oh,
be good.
No. Explode, dice explode.
Yeah, no, that's a 2.
Oh.
This creature in front of you is starting to really straight up panic.
Okay.
Okay, I look to Avian and go, we need to get her off the ship.
Input the coordinates and hand it to her and say, hey, what I need you to do right now is hold this and press this button. Can you do that for me?
She takes the transporter from you. Now,
Now.
Yes.
she presses the button and disappears.
We got one.
I asked her about the bloody octopus being, whatever he is, but never mind that. We have more people to find.
I don't know if maybe if we go closer to when the oxygen will run out, he'll see his senses and we can get him out. We have to keep going.
Worst case, you program that for me right now while we're out here, and somebody, either you or I, slap him on the back, put it on, and press the button at the same time. That's
Thomas and Chick, down the corridor, you hear the sound of a transporter.
Let's head that way.
Are they leaving with Alice?
Oh no, she would never leave me. We're good.
I don't know.
She's my sister. She's not gonna leave me.
Not my sister.
Continuing to run down the
Okay.
hallway, you do see Ace and Avian standing in front of the doors that lead to the escape pods.
Okay. Did Isa find you?
Yes, we got her out.
Okay, we found some stuff that could reinforce the bulkheads, but with the gravity well filling, I don't think that's going to work.
we've got 2 doors collapsed now, and it seems like they're going to keep collapsing. We got to get people out of here. There's also a really weird octopus named Trove. We haven't been able to convince him to leave yet, but that's
Okay.
we can account for Rhea, who was in one of
Security
the
office.
yes, it collapsed.
Do you know where the
it's
thing
gone.
exploded? It's gone. The
Uh,
security office is
Security room?
gone.
Yeah.
Well, based on the fact that the doors collapsed just like the bridge did, it seems.
Oh
so.
no. Okay, let's go get the octopus. Let's get him out of here, or her out of here, or whoever out of here.
And I think
Might be. Let's see if at least on the way we can find someone who might be a bit more willing.
Okay.
Well, what's the
I think at
octopus
this
doing?
point we should probably stick together because if I'm going to die, I don't want to die alone.
You're not gonna die.
That's
We're
good
gonna
to
make it
hear.
out of here.
He totally believes her.
Excellent. Standing in the corridor, you know that if you go to your left, you're going to head back to where the galley was. And you know that if you head towards your right, you'll pass the bridge, the security office, and a door that you haven't explored yet.
I
The
say we
door
go
next to the
door we
security
haven't
office.
explored
Correct.
If we go to the door next to the security office, that is most likely the next one that's going to just it seems that we're rupturing in a direction. So we might want to check those doors first.
okay.
yet. I'll go up and put my hand on the door.
The double doors slide open and you see the medical bay. There is an individual in there and this individual seems to be downloading or transferring files or something, is futzing at a desk. The medical bay is completely empty. This individual is very short and has 3 legs and has what appears to be a third eye or a crest in the center of his forehead.
Sir, we're here to get you out of here.
The individual turns around and says, teenagers, and goes back to what he was doing.
I swear I am going to punch something.
Actually, you have been offended
Yeah.
on more than one occasion now. Please roll your grit to make sure that as a Prolian, you don't actually just try and
Snap and
Hey,
murder
okay.
everyone.
A good roll.
You-
I'll take it.
You control yourself. Your knuckles crack as you make a little fist, but you fight the urge to take out his lights. He continues to do something at one panel and go something and do something in another panel. He is completely ignoring you.
Do we
Hey,
do,
dummy.
do we recognize what he's doing? Like,
It appears that he's transferring files or something. It looks like he's doing something over here and then checking it at another station. He's going back and forth.
Oh, I start yelling at him. Hey, dummy. What do you think's going on? We need to get out of here.
Make a charm roll. It's going to be a 10. If you'd like to spend 2 adversity tokens, he'll engage you.
Got one.
He just does not engage. He starts muttering to himself, teenagers, they don't understand. What's really important is they're doing things that are really important, as he's muttering, going back and forth.
Hey, if we don't understand, explain it to us. Quickly. We have to get out of here.
All of my research is in this computer.
Oh.
Can you pick up the computer?
He gestures to the large console desk-like thing, like fixed to the floor, and he's like, and goes back to what he's doing.
Hey, that's not very nice. She was talking to you, and that is just extremely rude. And he starts to walk towards him. He takes off his own transporter, puts it on his chest, and pushes the button, sending him to the ship. Don't ever talk to my sister that way again.
Make a flight roll, please.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's going to work. D4.
He's not expecting this at all. But no, well,
Ooh,
if you have
it
4 adversity
explodes.
tokens, or it exploded.
So that's 2. Does anybody have 2 adversity tokens we can help with? I failed a lot of rolls tonight already.
Anybody want to distract, and how do you help if you do?
Question. Does the if he presses that button, is he going to go with him? Is Thomas going to go with him? From how we know how these things work?
Probably not.
Okay. Then I don't care about this guy. I don't want to spend my tokens on him.
What? So I get an adversity for failing, right?
Correct.
All right.
You reach out to put your transport device on him, and you get pretty close to him before he bats your hand away. I did not give you permission to touch me.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's rude too. I'm sorry.
I'm almost done transferring these files. Go help someone else.
Fine. Team, let's go.
I have a question. While he's distracted by Thomas's fail, can I attempt to slap it on his back?
Yes. So he slaps Thomas's hand, and as Thomas takes a big step back, and the doctor tells you to go save someone else, and he's directing that directly towards Thomas, you may attempt to do so, and you do.
Just slap it
You
between his shoulder blades and hit the button as quick as I can.
roll flight to see if he goes.
I rolled fight. Is that correct?
To get it on him, now you need to roll flight to see if you can press the button and get him out of there.
Oh, okay.
It'll be a 10.
I believe I have a +1 due to my species, correct?
You might. We'll say sure.
Excellent.
This guy's a jerk. We'll get him out of here. Not quite. You go to hit the button, but he felt the transporter go into his back and he dodges you. The transporter's still there, but he spins around to you. He says, I didn't give you permission either to touch me.
When you say it's not going to take long, how long is not long?
Another half hour.
If he
This room
spun,
could explode before then.
if he
And then
spun
your
and that
research
transporter's
and-
there, sorry.
It might explode, it might not. This is my life's work.
Your life's work is not as important as your life. Now let's get off.
If we keep an eye on the transfer for you, will you consent to go?
Roll your charm.
Oh, that's my worst stat.
It's going to be a 10.
Nope.
He lets out a hearty, bellowing laugh. I trust no one with my life's work. Avian, you're pretty sure that it's been about a half hour between the bridge and the security deck blowing.
You need to get out of this room. I'm going to tell my crew, step back right now just in case.
I'm going to gently shove, step in front of the non-combatants in the room, so to speak.
Out.
Thomas will step back out of the room.
I'm going to disappear into the wall, in the hallway.
I'm hovering just behind the door, pretty much.
Good, without all these distractions, perhaps I can get this done. And he continues to do his file transfer.
I'm waiting and watching the door, even though we should probably be doing something.
Avian, roll your brain.
What's that lovely smell?
It's probably been 10 or 15 minutes since the last room blew, and it was about 30 minutes before the security room went. So this room, if you had to guess, might have another 20 minutes, 15 or 20 minutes before it blows.
If the transporter's on him, I know I can press the button. I just can't put it on him.
The transporter is dangling between his shoulder blades on his
Just
shirt.
distract
He doesn't see
him.
it.
Just distract him. I can get this done.
Hey, Doc, can you come look at this?
Look at what?
This.
Second he's distracted, I go for it.
Chick,
Okay.
roll your charm.
I will move around.
Let's see if Chick can distract him. It is, yeah, it's a weird, funny shaped nodule on your scaly reptilian skin, and it's just enough to make the doctor curious, and he leans over to look at it. What is
At
what?
that point,
He
I
says.
will press the button.
Roll flight.
My flight is a D20. Yes. And I roll a
Oh,
3.
no.
Nice. Dang it.
If anyone has 3 adversity tokens they would like to spare.
Oh, God.
I got 2.
Y'all,
I can throw in one.
we can all throw in one.
Okay, so Thomas, as you go to hit the button, you almost miss, but Avian actually pushes you at the right angle. You hit the button, and as the doctor disappears and is transported to your ship, you hear, "No!" and he disappears.
Finally.
The ship lurches
Now
the
that
whole
that idiot is
station.
taken care of, let's go to the next section before this one implodes.
I think this is our go-to tactic.
I'm going to shut the door before we get out of there.
Oh, okay, okay. You leave the
Before we-
room.
Before we leave the room, I hand
Mhm.
Thomas back the transporter that he attempted to slap on the doctor and failed, and go, do not take that off.
Mm.
Oh, okay, yeah. He puts it back on.
Follow Avian.
I say we head. I'm gonna keep going in that same direction, since the next room is likely to be the next to explode and therefore the most urgent to work on. So is that a door we've explored yet or no?
It is not.
Okay. Then
It's another set of double doors leading from the corridor. The doors slide open and you see a large, burly individual with glossy black eyes and very sharp looking teeth, moving as fast as they possibly can. You can see a giant wall that appears to be what is siphoning the power from the asteroid. It appears to be their engine room. And this giant wall of light and sound is vibrating very, very violently. It's very disturbing. It's, you know, when you hear sound that's too loud and it feels like it's starting to change your heartbeat, you're getting that feeling, and it's actually very nauseating. As soon as you open the door, roll grit, please, everyone. Yeah, Chick, you immediately feel sick. Everyone else kind of holds onto the wall and is able to stabilize themselves and kind of wait for that horrible pulsing to go over them, and kind of finds a rhythm with it, and you're able to enter the room.
I'm staying in the hall.
Okay. This large, hairy individual with large liquid dark eyes and sharp teeth and claws is moving around the equipment really quickly.
hey, we're here to get you out of here.
I have to shut it down. I have to figure out how are they doing it? How is it? Why would it know how to do that? And
Who is
this
this
individual's
it?
running around. The computer, I don't understand. Why would it prioritize the asteroid? It doesn't make sense. I should be able to dump the asteroid, but I can't dump the asteroid. We're stuck around the asteroid. I don't understand. Why is it collapsing? And you can tell that this individual is starting to kind of, or trying to work this all out loud.
Is there any way, are the computers between here and the med bay connected by any chance?
The individual turns around and stares at you. Who are you?
My name is Avian. I am the captain-ish of this ship. Things have happened. People are dead. We don't have time. What?
Roll your charm. Do you have enough commanding presence to make him believe you?
Nope.
Nope, that's a 1. That's a critical fail. He shakes his head like he thought he heard you say that, but of course that isn't what this teenager just said to me. And says, you guys, get on that lever and pull the other one back as the lights go up. See if you can keep it in balance. I can't do 3 things at once.
Okay.
I'll go over and give him a hand.
So you find a panel, and on this panel are lights that are going up and down, and there is a lever. And you find that if you pull the lever, the lights try and kind of come to meet it. It's almost like you're trying to keep them together.
Okay.
All right, if somebody's doing that, and then I can try and break back into this computer program, I can't figure out, there's a passcode of some kind or another. Someone's reprogrammed the computer to prioritize the asteroid, and I don't know how they did it.
I look to the others. I'm not the smartest with tech. If I help with this, can one of you give him a hand? If we
I can try,
stu-
but
if
I
we
don't think
can
that's a
help-
good idea. I mean, I can try, but I am not good with computers either.
I'll go for it.
All right, there's a lockout here, and I don't know what it is. Let me write this out real quick. It is a 5-digit code, and I don't know what it is. It's
Where
only
did you-
5 digits. Why can't I come up with it?
By the way, that diagnostic tool I found in the escape pod bay, during our transitions from room to room, have I been able to identify what kind of diagnostics it does?
What kind of diagnostics does it do? What would you like?
I'm tempted to say that it's actually a slicing tool that it helps you get into computer systems.
Okay. We will compromise. I will say that it is a tool that allows you to slice and then reconnect circuitry.
Sure, I'll pass it over to Avian and go, I think this will help. I'm not sure how much it can do, but expressive birdie shrug here.
Okay. Do you know for sure that it's numbers, that it's digits, or could it be letters too?
It is 5 factors. And he points to the panel, and you see 5 boxes, and they're empty. I've tried every combination I can think of. It's only 5. What could it be?
Does it just give you a straight accept or reject?
Yes.
Great. I don't even know where to start. There's 5 factorial, no, more than 5 factorial possible answers, 5 to the 5th.
Who would do this? Why would somebody want to do this? I don't understand. Why would you put the entire station in danger? Why would you prioritize the asteroid? It doesn't make any sense.
Where did you get the asteroid?
The asteroid was here. We built the station around the asteroid.
Built the station around an asteroid. Is the asteroid living? Like, is it alive? Is it somebody's baby? Is it an egg? I've been all over this universe. I've seen sentient oceans. I've seen all kinds of stuff.
He looks at you like you're crazy. Like, why would I connect a giant space station to a sentient live being? That would be terrible.
Yeah, it would be terrible, but it could be possible that you didn't know it was alive. Like, the oceans don't just suddenly, actually they do suddenly become alive. What if that's what happened and that is who's taking over ship? It doesn't make any sense to me that nobody on the ship knows who's taking over the ship. So it has to be somebody that's not a part of your crew, maybe. And if they're prioritizing the asteroid, I know my sister's very protective of me. Maybe,
how could an asteroid reprogram a computer?
Well, you hooked it to it, right?
What if it was inhabited?
Or it's inhabited.
Didn't know.
That's another possibility.
His whole world is crumbling inside. Inside he's crumbling.
Oh no, we've broken him.
Oh no.
I suppose we could scan for it. And he points to Chick and points to a panel in the back. And it appears to also have a screen, and there's controls at the bottom. He's like, go scan it.
Is that in the room?
It's in the room.
I fight my way into the room. Who doesn't breathe oxygen here?
Everybody breathes oxygen. You breathe oxygen, you stop living.
I saw a drone.
It's true, there are drones. What are you talking about? Our security officer or the drones?
As far as I know, the security officer doesn't breathe oxygen. You guys are venting oxygen. Whatever. I'll walk over to the panel.
You say that to him, and he goes, oh, God, no. Rhea?
Yeah, I think that thing's name.
Right? Rhea doesn't breathe oxygen. And you see this creature run over to another panel, type in a bunch of stuff, and it comes up 0. He says, Rhea's not on the station.
Yeah. Something happened. I told you I'm kind of the captain now. Yeah, same thing happened to Rhea. The good news is she doesn't breathe oxygen, so hopefully she'll be all right out there and y'all can retrieve her at some point. We don't have time to freak out about it now.
Okay, and he types a couple more scan, like he's still looking. He's like, you guys have your ship out there. It's
Yes.
Your ship is the Persephone?
Yes.
Yeah. No, there's a drone on the outside of your ship. Well, it's got to be Rhea.
Sure.
Do you have any way to comlink over to her, like directly?
This individual runs outside into the corridor and presses their hand up against the panel in the corridor and says, Rug to Rhea. Rug to Rhea. And there's a staticky, as if someone's trying to answer.
Okay.
But that's all there is.
Okay, well, her programming's intact, so at least she's over there. Have the life form scans on the asteroid been done yet?
Check. Roll your brain. He's still working on it, but it's getting there. What would be the purpose of trying to kill everything on the station? Why would you do that? Did you want to kill everything on the station? Did you want to get self-defense? Did you want to get everyone?
Self-defense. If you're drawing the gravity off of the asteroid or drawing energy from the asteroid and you're killing it, it might try to kill you.
Do you trust that octopus guy in the galley?
What, Trove?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good cook.
How about the medic?
He's a jerk, but he does his job.
Okay. Either of them, who the heck knows, do you have any idea where I can find anything about this passcode? Who might have programmed it? Just any information? I can't just go off of its 5 digits.
I've tried numbers. I've tried numbers and letters.
What about names? Because I noticed when we've seen the crew roster already. I haven't tried any. Yeah, there's several 5-letter names among your folk.
It's true.
Maybe start from the captain and work down. Any word that has 5 letters in it, try inputting that, and maybe we'll get somewhere.
EINUM.
Okay.
How about that?
Nothing. As you go through them, it just keeps going. You get to the roster. There's nothing on the roster that's doing it. But Rug does say, I've tried combinations of letters and I've tried combinations of letters and numbers, but you're right. I haven't tried any proper names, like or names of things, like any actual words. I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
Just
and
random combinations. It didn't occur to me that somebody would use a word. But I
maybe
guess you're right.
the first part of the name of the ship. I don't know your ship well enough. Who would have programmed the passcode? Who would have put it in?
Somebody would have had to have broken in here or broken into the system through another console and reprogrammed the station.
Okay, who has
Besides
the technical
reprogramming,
skill?
that's something to start on, because whoever might have reprogrammed must have known something. Originally, who was the person who input the passcode in the first place? Who created the passcode?
Like the first passcode when we built the station,
The passcode, yes, sure.
that was me. I was here. I helped build the station.
What was the passcode?
He whispers in your ear. You can feel his whiskers kind of against your cheek. 1, 2,
Oh my
3, 4, 5.
Oh my god! It could have
That
been.
is such a good combination.
I had never thought of it.
Right? No one's gonna pick that, right? It's
Anyway,
unbreakable.
that's the first thing I tried.
Oh. He's feeling kind of bad, kind of stupid
Can you
now.
check the access logs?
Different question. Who might have the computer skill required to override whatever you put into it?
Security override? Like the security
Possibly.
personnel? Why is Rhea at our ship?
Maybe.
I have a feeling. Try drone.
Avian, do you type in drone?
Yes.
Nothing happens.
Okay, well, at least we can rule out or semi-rule out an AI uprising.
How long do we have, GM? How long do we have until the 30 minutes are up and something else explodes?
You feel like we're getting to that point.
And there's no way we're going back into that room now. It's our best guess as to what explodes next. Is there any chance? I'm going to talk to the engine guy now. So we're only working with a sample size of 2 here on what rooms explode. Something's about to explode. One of these doors is going to close. Can you, for the next 3 minutes, come into the hallway with us just in case it's this room? We don't think it will be, but it could be.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So we back out just in case.
You back
If it's
out.
5 letters, have we tried admin?
We can try admin. I try admin on my way out the door.
Yeah, nothing. It's a good one.
It would have been amazing if it worked.
It's a good thought.
Okay, so we're in the hallway. Is anything exploding?
You stand in the hallway and you can feel that breathing, that uncomfortable pulse in the entire station. You're standing in the corridor and something sure does smell good though.
Oh no, I think we're going to lose the cook.
What the hell is that octopus motherfucker up to?
It's wafting down the corridor.
Oh, I'm hungry.
Sure does smell good.
Not now.
The space station hums. You start to hear the of metal buckling of the space station groaning. And you hear what sounds almost like a light tea kettle sound. It gets louder.
There is an oxygen leak in here. Can I home in on where that sound is coming from, first of all? Second of all, in the engine room, they probably have I don't want to say soldering material, but sealant.
Got a bunch of construction equipment in the hallway just down here. We could probably find something in there.
We need to stop that oxygen leak before everybody else on this ship dies before we even get there.
Well, then let's go take a look. And he'll head that way.
So you left the pallet probably right by the crew quarters because you were having a hard time pushing it. If you continue down the corridor the way that you guys were going, you'll see the pallet just past the cargo hold.
Okay. And then I'll start looking through there for any like quick patch, quick sealants.
I'll assist.
You start digging through there. You don't see that it looks like a sealant, but you do see something that looks like a portable, I know the word I'm looking for, not shield. What's the word I'm looking for? Shield, electric shield.
Force field?
Force field. Oh my goodness. This is a sci-fi game. It's a force field. Wow. But yes, you find a portable force field.
Let's find that breach and set this up around it so that it doesn't leak anything else out.
You grab the portable force field, come back around down the corridor. As you get closer to the engine room and where the medical bay is, it's pretty clear that that's getting louder is coming from the medical bay.
I put in my rebreather in case, grab a hold of the door jamb, like digging talons in, and then look to Thomas first. Hold on
I'll
to something.
assist.
Thank you. Hold on to something, and then
Yep.
open the door.
You open the door to the medical bay. It's empty,
Mm-hmm.
but it does, when you open the door, you kind of feel the air sucked out of you, almost like someone punched you in the stomach. Air is being pulled out through this room. There's very little left in this room.
Okay.
So the doctor's not in there anymore?
You guys transported him out,
Oh, right.
screaming, no!
Right.
I'm going to shut the door again, and then I'm going to set up the force field around the door to the medical bay so that oxygen from the engine room doesn't leak out that way.
If you would like to do so, roll your brain. Anybody who would like to help can do so. Have you ever set up a force field before, portable force field before?
As a merc, I would imagine so. They're quite popular to protect like encampments and whatnot.
Okay. If you can tell me about a time that you used a portable force field to do so, I will give you an advantage.
Okay. Setting it up to under cover of
Ooh.
darkness, like with basically a tiny little head flashlight to make sure that you're not seen by enemy troops, however, who might be making air patrols to essentially shield what would be a command center.
Okay. All right. I'll give it one more roll.
Come on.
Oh, it's a critical fail. You go to turn it on, and that machine, it goes, boom. It's not powering up.
I slap it on the side of like concussive maintenance.
There was more than one in that box.
But kind of wave to Thomas, like, do you want to try grab a second one? This one's out of battery.
All right, I'm on it. And then he takes off down the hallway.
Roll your flight.
All right, last time we rolled my best roll. It's 20. Yep, I got a 3 again. That's great.
As you're running down the
D20.
hallway, the entire station lurches towards the medical bay. You can pick yourself up and try again. Take an adversity token.
Most definitely. We'll try again. This 20 has got to roll better for
It's
me.
got to.
There's an
Yes!
18.
Not
There we
only
go.
do you run to the container, you left it open, that what you're looking for is sitting right on top. With an 18, you scoop that back up in your arms in one movement, turn yourself around, and run back. You have a second portable force field.
All right, I hand it over to her.
With this.
Okay.
You go to turn it on. Oh, no, wait. Yes. Ace roll, please.
Thank God.
You go to turn it on. It won't light up. It won't charge.
Did we
Now
kick
you've
it?
got 2. You have 2 of them. says the game master in a way that's not leading.
I do have a
whatsoever.
bunch of useless devices. They should have batteries in them.
All right, so Thomas has a bunch of useless batteries. Ace, roll
Yeah.
your brain real quick.
I start pulling batteries out of things.
Okay, sure.
Okay, Ace, you do have a tool with you?
I'm gonna quickly head back to look to Thomas. Like, give me a second. Head back in, get it from Avian. Say we're setting up a force field. Need batteries. Pass me the soldering tool essentially, and head back to Thomas.
Great. And seeing what you're attempting to do, Rug is going to help you. Go ahead and roll it to see if you can get these two combined together. And Rug is going to help. Ooh, Rug doesn't know quite what you're doing. He's actually in your way.
Yes.
All right. So you managed to kind of jury rig them together. There's enough power between the two that it sets up a force field in front of that door. Just in time, you hear, and you can feel yourself leaning towards the medical bay, and you can feel the whole station starting to tilt.
Okay.
And boom, the door buckles. The medical bay is gone. The entire ship or the entire space station lurches back. Everyone roll flight. Chick, you hit your head, something awful. Avian's fine. Ace is fine. And Thomas, you actually kind of catch Chick on his way to the floor, but miss and he hits his head. For a moment,
As I have him dipped there, knowing secretly that he's in love with me, I make sure I look longingly into his eyes and say, I've got you.
Chick, how do you respond to that?
I just kind of melt.
Thomas, as Chick melts into your arms and you feel the space station start to resume that labored in and out of energy, there is the waft of something delicious coming down the corridor. And that is where we'll take our break. Your crew is standing in the corridor. The door to the medical bay has just buckled, but it's being held in place just barely by the force field that you managed to put up just in time. Rug is holding the wall. He's hugging it, not believing his eyes at what just happened. And something does smell really good, really delicious coming down the corridor.
Can we get you out of here? Will you, if we give you this transporter, will you go?
How are we going to save the station if I go? I'm the engineer.
How are you going to save the station if you die?
The eyes that were already large and liquid get a little bit bigger.
The station may not be savable.
Sadness fills those large liquid eyes. As you say this, a drone that you've been seeing kind of floating around the hallway, it's sort of circular, has little legs, comes up to the door, looks at the force field, passes it, and then looks at the security desk door and starts to, and looks like it's putting another force field around that door.
Oh, okay.
This is the repair drone.
I'm not complaining.
Thanks, repair drone.
One of the metal arms goes up and goes like this.
Aww.
We gotta check out what the hell is going on with that stupid octopus.
Right. It's probably going to need all
Is
of
that
us
where that
to-
wonderful smell's coming from?
Yeah, he's not quite. How should we put this?
Same.
He's a lot of twigs short of a nest.
Well, I think I am too.
Not the same way that this guy is. And
No,
I'm
this
pretty
one
sure it
has.
something to do with
This one is like completely out of touch with reality.
Another drone appears. This one appears and is pushing the dolly, the hover dolly, towards you. This is a loading drone. So instead of the red stripe around it that the repair drone has, this one has a yellow stripe around its belly. And it is pushing, and it pushes the hover dolly directly towards Thomas, stops and waits.
Oh,
Drones haven't been doing anything so far.
Mr. Rugg, could you just take this and go, please? We're gonna make sure that we're gonna do our best to keep this ship okay. All right. I just need you off the ship, and then we gotta go get that octopus.
Okay, well, here, if you find the code, enter the code, and all you have to do is press stop. It's a system shutdown. It's shutting down area by area and drawing the oxygen out, but it's also pulling the gravity out, which is why it's imploding. So just stop it if you can.
Okay.
Don't reset it. If you do that, just give me back. I'll fix it. And as he says, I'll fix it, he touches the wall like, this is my baby.
So don't turn it on and off again.
No.
Okay. So it's not good in this case.
No.
Oh, okay. I got you. We won't do that. We'll just hit stop. That's it.
The confidence he had a minute ago is starting to fade in his eyes.
I should
What do we
stop
do
talking.
if your area is destroyed?
Oh God.
We'll figure something out.
That's
you need to get out of here.
That's a question.
If you can find an access panel, yeah, you might be able to do it. Because whoever did it didn't do it from the engine room, so it must be possible to do it from somewhere else.
And if I have this down right, is the engine room the next one to explode based on our current pattern?
Highly likely, probably in the next 30 minutes or so.
Okay, Mr. Rugg, you need to go. We'll take care of things from here, okay? Go.
Just take care of my baby.
We'll do our best. Go give Isa a hug. She was having a panic attack the last time I saw her.
Oh no, not Isa. And he holds out his hand for the transporter.
I'll hand it to him with the coordinates in it.
He holds it out, presses the button, and disappears.
Okay.
You have saved Rugg.
Let's not be in here when it explodes, shall we?
Let's
Okay,
go.
let's go get Trove.
Let's figure out what's going on with this octopus.
Do you continue down the same direction down the corridor?
It looks like it's about the same direction, about the same distance either way, so sure.
You continue down, you pass the cargo hold. Those doors are still open. Ace and Evian, when you walk by, the cargo hold looks a mess. Like there's stuff all over the floor, like expensive looking stuff, like someone's been going through the cargo. You pass the crew quarters, they're completely empty. And you reach the still open doors of the galley. You've just turned the corner, you can see that the doors are open into the galley.
Is Trove in there?
You hear clinking and clattering, and you can smell the delicious meal coming from that room.
Smells wonderful.
It does. It has a nice, fresh, herby smell. There's something that also smells kind of like a roasting meat. It smells delightful.
There's a roasting meat. Is he using some sort of electric like stove, or is there an actual flame? Is he like a traditional cook? Or is this going to be like high tech?
Well, Ace and Avian have seen the kitchen, so they might be able to tell you if you
We
ask
saw
them.
actual flame, if I remember correctly.
So I'll lean into Avian. I was like, if that flyer goes out, we need to get out of here immediately.
Mm.
I go up to this octopus squid man So, what's for dinner, bud?
So glad you could come. I have been preparing food all day. And you do see that there is a table that's been set up all by itself in the middle of the galley. The other tables have been pushed aside, and there's a beautiful tablecloth and table settings on the table, different kinds of plates and bowls and utensils that might be appropriate for different species. And there are a couple of bowls on the table. One looks like a big salad. It's full of greens and vegetables. And then you see what looks like sliced roast meat on the table, and then scattered around little pastries all over the table, and whole fruits. Some of them you recognize, some of them you don't.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Don't eat that.
This is great. Hey, cook guy, your name is...
My name is Trove. Welcome to
Oh.
my kitchen.
That's so good to meet you. My sister loves a good cuisine. Do you by any chance have Perulian Dracul?
Dracul, it's one of my specialties.
Damn.
And Trove disappears into the kitchen.
You need
You
to
hear
think of
some
something
pots
that
and
he doesn't
pans, you
have,
hear
and
some
maybe you'll have to go
drawers
get it.
open. And yeah, what did you call it? I just said it.
Perulian Dracul.
What does Dracul look like?
So Dracul is a meat of a reptilian creature on the Perulian home planet. They sometimes hunt them because they're kind of aggressive, but they taste really good, kind of like rattlesnake.
So there's a platter that comes out, and on the platter are again some more herbs and greens. What looks like, Thomas, you might recognize like basil maybe, and sitting on top of that is sliced raw meat.
Whoa,
And he sets it on the table.
I could have swore you wouldn't have had that.
I
Wow.
am a man of many talents.
Well, that was something.
You're also the only man left on this ship.
Oh, well,
That
then
is
you
true.
guys had better start eating up. Don't want all of this to go to waste.
Well, we have a hardy crew on our ship that could really use the talents of a good cook like you. Could you pack this up real quick and head on over, and then we'll get over there and we'll have a feast?
Trove slides up to you. How many on your ship?
At least 40. That's why we need a good cook.
40 individuals on your ship?
Yeah. When last I counted.
And he slides back. You notice another drone. There's a drone in the kitchen doing food prep. In some of its long metallic arms, it's got knives. One of them is stirring something.
So, what do you say, Trove? You want to cook for a bigger crew?
Well, we probably have, maybe another half hour or 45 minutes or so. Why don't you go ahead and sit down and eat? You're going to need your strength.
If we have 45 minutes or so before this station explodes, you could use that time on our ship to prepare the meal.
Roll your charm.
Oh, God. It's not good.
I also want to ask him how he knows how much time is left.
All right, a D4.
Okay.
Explode!
He pats you on the head.
Explode again! Explode again!
No, for real.
Yeah, for real. Look at the chat. Or look at the dice roller. I got a 4, a 4, a 4, and a 3.
He, again, slides up to you. 40 individuals, you say.
Yes, 40
Chick, you wanted to ask him a
individuals.
question? You wanted to ask Trove a question?
Yes. When he says we've got 45 minutes until it, boom, boom, I want to tilt my head to the side. How do you know how much time's left?
Oh, my species is very good at time. I know how to time an egg. I know exactly how long cookies should be in the oven. And I can feel it coming around the station. Boom, boom, boom. The drone in the back continues to cook.
Let's kind of take a couple steps back, like.
Is there any kind of check I can do to see if this guy is like malicious or just insane?
How would you like to determine if he is insane?
I would love if I could somehow use my grit, but I don't think that's gonna work. So I guess brains.
If you want to use just your raw gut instinct, I'll let you roll your grit.
Okay, I'll do that.
I'd also like to attempt that check.
Sure. Yeah, there's something off about him. Chick, you think he's fine. You don't know what they were talking about when they were talking about him not being quite all there and connected to reality. You're like, he's fine. He likes to cook. That's fine. But yeah, even he seems really interested in how many people you have on your ship. Just as a point of order, how many people do you have on your ship? Is it just this crew or are there other people?
I don't think we have anybody but this crew. But
So Thomas is just making it up. Sweet.
Thomas is willing to tell any type of story to get this guy to take a personal transporter and leave because I can't fight him. He's got too many arms.
But if he leaves and he's killing people, then he's going to destroy our ship.
We know our ship better than this ship.
Yeah. I'm wondering what.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do these sidearms that we have a stun function?
Sure.
I look at the others and I go, the worst case is we knock him unconscious and then like transport him to the brig or something like that.
Are you whispering this to your
Yes.
crew or just sort of okay?
I have a very quietly whispering over to whisper it. I'm not saying this out loud.
I'm actually talking to Trove about some food.
Okay.
Because I am all for him.
Yeah, I've been a cook on the station from the very beginning, and I've cooked all over the universe, and I know how to make just about anything.
You know beetle stew?
Wait, what?
Beetle stew? I love beetle stew.
You know streptoline.
I'm pulling my pistol.
Oh, no, I've already cooked anything. No need to nuke it. The prep drone in the kitchen has now come through the pass window and is now kind of making a round around the dining room.
Oh, I got a bad feeling.
I'm keeping an eye on that drone. It has too many stabby pieces for me to be comfortable with it.
Yeah, it's got a lot of stabby pieces and some extra ones it's carrying with it.
Yeah, I'm not. Ace is very uncomfortable with this drone. Like, is just like Predator watching it moving around.
Yeah, I've got 2 pistols. I think I'm gonna have, because I've got the eyes around the back. I think I'm gonna have one behind me at the drone and one forward.
And you know, Trove, most of our people are pretty plump. You should go there.
They've been eating well.
Oh, yes, most definitely. We feed them very well. We keep them nice and juicy. I mean, you know, crew needs to stay hydrated.
He again slides up to, tell me about the different species on your ship.
Why don't you go see for yourself?
Well, I have to prep my ingredients. I mean, I do have my favorite herb on the table, but
Right,
I do need to prep things.
You definitely don't want to have the wrong ingredients when you serve them.
Well, of course.
Right, yeah. I'm kind of looking at the captain at this point of like,
I feel like some sort of really stupid go word. I'm just like, I feel like it's organized, and I'm just gonna look around and gonna shout spaghetti, and we're gonna go.
Yeah, the go word is Captain. Pineapple. Yeah.
Avian, would you like to tell me about a time that you used a go word in your last mission where you did actually manage to make some money? What that word was and what was the outcome?
We have multiple go words. I'd say spaghetti is to fight. In our last one, we ended up using lasagna, which means get out, get back to the ship. We couldn't just transport out easily because we had a malfunctioning transporter. So lasagna was our plan to, like, we had to have 2 people hug each other and transport together with the same transporter. And we had to arrange to make the plan on lasagna.
All right, so you're standing in a dining room with a
So-
full banquet of roasted meat, raw meat, and
Do you
some
think-
basil herbs on the table.
Do you think by any chance you make a good spaghetti?
I make an excellent spaghetti. And
So does
Trove
my
goes back into the
sister.
kitchen.
I fire.
You fire? All right, we're gonna fight. Roll your fight, please. And Trove is going to roll his fight. When I find his stats, he will do so.
I am not a fighter.
I'm also not a fighter, but I do make this with +2.
He's
I
going
would like
to try and get away
disappear
from
into the
you.
background.
Excellent. Do you want to disappear in the background in the dining room or in the kitchen?
I'm currently in the dining room.
All right, you fire and you do hit Trove. You hit one of Trove's arms and it kind of splinters and goes limp. He now only has 7. That was uncalled for. And the drone in the background starts to move.
Ace, get on the drone.
Can I shoot the drone with
You may shoot the
hopefully
drone.
something that's set to stun, which is essentially like an EMP?
Okay, yep. Go ahead and I will roll for the drone. You hit the drone and you hit one of its arms, and one of the arms that was holding a machete tink, 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 onto the floor. There's now a machete on the floor.
Can I dive for the machete?
Roll your fight to see if you can pick it up. It's on the floor. It's a 5. Yeah, you pick up the machete. So you now have a stun gun and a machete.
Okay.
Chick, what are you doing? Chick, you are muted.
I
You're
am
so well
trying
hidden, we
to
can't hear
become
him.
invisible.
Chick becomes invisible up against the wall. You guys, Chick has disappeared. Thomas, what are you doing?
I'm not that great of a fighter, so I'm going to have to do dirty. I'm going to kick him in the ink sac and then leave.
Roll your fight. He's going to try and block that. He's not into inking himself in front of you guys.
I exploded again. Nice. And so I got a total of 6.
So you meet each other. You do hit him in the ink sac, but he doesn't ink himself. He looks angry. I've prepared this wonderful meal for you. You should eat it. And he's going to try and grab your head and smash you into the roasted meat. Roll your flight.
We're going to roll d20. I got a 9 on that one.
He goes to grab your head, misses, and slams one of his tentacles into the table. Bits of roasted meat go flying. Who's closest to the table?
That would be me and my sister.
Thomas, Avian, roll your brain.
When I see him go for Thomas, I'm going to try to move around behind him.
I also,
Okay.
if it's relevant, as soon as he goes for Thomas, I'm taking my other arm off of the drone and pointing them straight at him and just starting to shoot.
Excellent. All right. So you don't notice anything weird about the meat that's flying through the air. Chick, you go first. You move behind Trove. What do you want to do?
Oh, I'm going to try to stun him.
Okay. Roll your fight. He doesn't see you, so he's not going to be able to dodge that. Okay, where are you shooting him?
Right in the
Chick,
back of his squiddy head.
Right in the back of his squiddy head. It goes in one side, out the other. You did miss his eyes, but now there's a hole, and there's like coming out the top of his head. Aiden, you're going to go for Trove as well, but that drone, now that you've taken your gun off of it, is going to come for you.
Okay.
Knives everywhere.
So
It's going to fight you. Do you attempt to dodge?
yes.
Okay. Flight, please. It comes at you, knives flailing, metal arms everywhere, and knocks both pistols out of your hands. You now have cuts all over your fingers. You
Does
are
that count as
angry.
does that count for an adversity fail?
Yes. Take a token.
Seeing this, can I go in with the machete and try to hack off the arms?
Sure. He will try to dodge that. He's very motivated.
Oh, for goodness sake.
He's hungry.
Does that count for the token as well?
Yeah, you get an adversity token for that
Can I immediately spend that then?
on the next roll.
To dodge back. Like to get out of the danger radius, so to speak.
Well, he hasn't come after you. He's just moving out of the way.
Okay.
So you go at him with the machete, and the arm that you go for just kind of comes into his body and unfurls back out. There's now leafy herb all over the ground, roasted meats all over the ground. Avian, the drone is now very set its sights on you. Chick, you're behind Trove. Let's see. So it would be Chick next.
Is Trove down?
Trove is not down, but he is oozing from his mantle.
Oh,
Take
God.
another shot.
Roll your fight. He will try and get out of the way. You go to shoot at him, but he's anticipating it this time, and actually the top of his mantle is starting to deflate a little bit, so you miss the top of his head.
Can I spend 2 adversity tokens to make that even?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You thought maybe his mantle was slumping a little bit, but you actually caught it, and now there's boom, boom, 2 holes in the top of his mantle, and now he's oozing out of the top of both of them. The entire station gives a lurch. That brings us back to Thomas.
So since I'm not the greatest fighter, I think what I'm going to do is try to just be a distraction for one of the combatants, since I am good at flight, which means dodge, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So I am just going to go on full defense while kicking plates of food off of the tables, trying to get Trove to come at me while they take care of the drone.
Okay, you go for the plates on the table. Actually, let's see how well you throw them. Roll your brawn.
Okay. I got a 5.
These platters aren't too heavy. They look heavy, but you can flip them over and toss them up. You flip over the Prolean delicacy, and Trove spins to you. So, I made that for you. And he goes straight for you.
And I yell back, "You made that for my sister!"
Excellent. And then back to Avian.
I've got no weapons. I'm fighting against a thing with knives. Main thing I want to do is dodge, but if I can also try to get a hand on the not sharp part, but get a blade or one of my 2 pistols, I'd like to try to do that too.
Okay. Your pistols are on the ground. There are some tables pushed along the side. There's the big table in the center, and there's the kitchen right behind you.
Okay, so if my pistols are on the ground, I want to pick up my pistols.
Okay, roll your flight. It'll be a 6.
I'd like to use 2 adversity points to make that a success.
You got to reach for one of your pistols. Your hand almost slips off of it. There's a piece of basil on top of it, but you manage to wipe the basil away and pick up a pistol. You now have 1 pistol in your hand. Ace, what are you doing? Ace is muted. We can't hear her. Her silent screams.
Sorry, the machete's not working out. So I'm probably just going to switch back to sidearms and keep trying to hit the drone.
All right, you fire at the drone. Fire at the drone. The drone is engaged with Avian at this point, so it's not going to try and dodge you. It's not going to try and flight from you. You shoot.
How many tokens would I have to spend to hit it?
Probably another 3.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, you hit it. You're trying to stun it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to put it out of commission, so I'm probably aiming for the broadest part of the body.
You aim at the center of the drone. The electric pulse goes over it. It shudders in the air. And it looks really scary, Avian, from your point of view, because all these sharp things are shuddering very close to you. It goes up and boom, hits the ground with a crash. Trove turns around, my beauty, and heads for the drone. And then we're back to Thomas.
I grab the nearest plate of food and chuck it at his head.
The nearest plate of food is a platter that has a couple pieces of roasted meat left on it. He is not looking at you. He's not going to try and fight from you.
Okay.
Roll your fight.
D4. That's a 1. That's no
The
good.
plate is kind of greasy from the roasted meat that was on the plate, and it slips off your hands. You look at your hands and you're like, you realize, really greasy.
This is not good. Oh.
Chick, what are you doing?
Can I tell that the headshots are doing absolutely nothing?
They're not doing nothing. He is oozing from his mantle. It has slowed him down, but he's not down.
I'm going to switch to stun and
Okay.
see if I can't actually stop him.
Okay. Again, he's not looking at you. You hit him with the pulse. His body shakes, and he's paused, but he's not down.
Mm-hmm.
But you have slowed him significantly. It's enough to make him stop for a second. Avian, what are you doing?
I am shooting at the drone that's coming down at me.
It is paying it. Oh no, the drone has fallen. Ace shot it.
Oh.
Or
Okay.
stunned it, so it's out of power and on the ground.
I didn't realize it was full out. Okay, then I will I'll see that the stun kind of worked, and no, if it's stunned right now, I'll try to just aim for center of mass and try to shoot at Trove.
Okay. He is distracted by the drone, so go ahead. It's gonna be 6 to hit it. He's kind of big.
Nope.
You go to hit him. Something about that pulse, you feel like may have affected your blaster as well. There are lids of pots rumbling in the kitchen. There's the smell of something burning. There's an acrid smell coming from the back. Ace, what are you doing? Oh, Ace, you're muted.
Trove is still up, correct?
Trove is still up. He is now bleeding or oozing fairly significantly from his mantle. The stun did freeze him. And it looked like it hurt.
Okay.
But he's not down.
Since the stun appeared to be more painful than a regular blaster shot, correct? Okay. I will likewise aim for center of mass and shoot him.
Roll your fight. Is that a 3?
Yep.
Yeah. Just as you're about to fire your stun, the entire space station lurches again, and you guys hear it. You don't hear it as much as you feel it in your chest. Boom, boom. And you know that another part of the ship is lost.
Good to know.
Thomas, what are you doing?
So it seems that this isn't going to distract him. So I'm thinking that Thomas is going to leap off one of the tables and try to land on one of his tentacles to just kind of impede his movement in any way, just to harass him somehow to make it easier for them to hit.
All right, go ahead and roll your fight. He's going to.
I got a 3.
Okay, he's going to try something. Oh gosh, you go to sort of body slam him, and Trove attempts to put a tentacle around you to grapple you. But your jump at him was so poor that you slip right out of his tentacle.
Haha. My, yeah.
Chick, you see Thomas go to sort of body slam Trove and narrowly escape being grappled by him. What do you do?
You leave my baby alone! Take another shot.
Roll your fight. He will try and flight it though. Yeah, it hits the wall. Is this a stun shot?
Mm-hmm.
It hits the wall and you see the energy dissipate across the wall. It looked a little scary. Things are not super stable on this station. Avian, what do you do?
Okay, so if I were to try to jump forward and pin one or more of the arms, could I make a case to roll grit for that? Since I'm trying to hold down, like...
You can make a case for brawn.
That's worse. I am going to just shoot again.
Fight him. He's not going to dodge. He's distracted by the energy disbursement across the wall.
Ah, no.
No. Yeah, it actually misfires and you with a 1 take an adversity token. Ace, you see Avian try to fire and it looks like Avian's gun is starting to backfire. What do you do next?
I yell out to Avian, drop it, it's going to blow, and toss her one of mine from you don't know where Ace was hiding it. Somewhere in the feathers. It's like a small backup pistol, essentially.
I will let you roll grit for this one to see if you catch it. Avian, try and catch it. Yeah.
Get it.
Get it, get it, get it. Not the first time you guys have pulled this maneuver. You got it.
Okay.
You now have an unexploded pistol in your hand. Thomas, Ace threw Avian a new gun. Trove is starting to slow down. In fact, the ooze from his body is starting to cover him in his tentacles. That may be why he wasn't able to grab a hold of you. He seems very distraught by the felling of his drone, and he's picked up a bone from the roasted meat, and he's holding it up in the air at you. Roll your brain.
My brain?
Yeah. Actually, anybody who wants to can roll their brain. It's gonna be difficult with 6. Oh, somebody get it, somebody get it, somebody get it. No. Yeah, it's a bone. It's a big bone.
Could I spend 1 token to boost that?
Yeah.
Okay, then I shall do that.
Yeah, that looks like a human femur.
Yeah, ignorance is bliss on this one.
You see Ace's face kind of contort despite the beak and go, oh god, that's a human bone.
Human!
And Trove moves closer to Thomas with the femur aloft. Humans are the most delicious. And he's about to bring it down on you.
So at this point, I'm starting to scream, lasagna, lasagna, lasagna. And then he's running.
Roll charm. Thomas, let's see if it works. You yelled lasagna, 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 and Trove goes, my lasagna, and turns and heads for the kitchen. So his back is now to all of you. Chick, what
Beautiful.
do you do?
I am actually, I know this is surprising, not going to take a shot.
Okay.
I am going to try to take the diplomatic route and be like, hey, Trove, you're not going to win this, man. Just stop what you're doing. We'll detain you, put you back on our ship. And I mean, you can try to cook.
Charm, please. Difficulty of like 15. Oh, so close.
Almost. I'll spend my 3 adversity tokens.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Trove makes it into the kitchen. You start talking to him. His head pops up over the pass. It's quite a sight. Goo, ooze all over the mantle. You can barely see his tiny eyes under his tentacles. He's holding in one hand a human bone. In the other tentacle, he's holding the space frozen head of the captain and says, with 40 to feed on with, two, I could try. Avian, what do you do?
I say, drop your weapons, drop everything, and all 7 remaining hands up.
Trove pulls up the remaining tentacles, except for 2. So we shot one off. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 4 tentacles up in the air. One is holding a human bone. One is holding the space frozen head of the captain. One is holding what looks like a pass key, Chick, similar to the one Chick has.
Hand me the pass key.
And the other one is holding a bunch of basil.
I say, hand me the pass key.
Why should I? Tasty thing.
Because you're surrendering. That's why you have your hands up. It's our terms now.
He throws the pass key at you.
I take it, I look at it. Is there any sort of code on it?
There's no code on it. It's very similar to the one that Chick has. It's long, looks almost like a screwdriver, but at the end of it, there's a round cylinder. Looks like it opens something.
And I'm gonna turn to my crew and say, stun the hell out of him and send it back.
Ace, you hear your captain give the order.
What I was going to say before I accidentally hit the mute button was I would have been wanting to shoot this guy for a while. So
shoot away. Roll your fight. He's not gonna try and fight. This is a standoff now.
Okay, so net total, I think I've shot the hell out of him.
Yeah, so with the 20 you did. You open fire on Trove. What does that look like?
Ace is like, it looks almost like a classic shooter position, like feet shoulder width apart, arms relaxed, like it looks almost classically trained, and just rapid squeeze like as many bolts as I can out of the pistol that I'm holding, and I want to just drop him like a sack of bricks.
You fire into Trove and his body again, just like a classic old human film. His body shudders, then backs up. The last thing you see is his tentacle on the pass with a bunch of basil. And his tentacle disappears.
I look to Thomas at this point. Can you go find some zip
Basil
ties?
is 5 letters.
It is. Go put it in.
And he runs off.
Go do that first. In the meantime,
Thomas. Go ahead, Ace.
No.
Yeah,
I was going to say I would
action.
like to look through the construction supplies and find like zip ties or wire or something like that and use that to tie him up.
The drone is outside with the pallets. You can go outside and see what you can find to tie up Trove, although, I mean, he's kind of just a gooey mess. Thomas, are you running to the
Running to the engine room to put in the code basil.
You run into the engine room and you can feel it when you open the door. This room is losing oxygen fast.
I've got the rebreather that Ace made us bring.
You put it on?
Yeah, he'll put it on.
You put it on, you breathe easier. It feels less like there's something sitting on your chest, but you can feel the gravity pressing down on you. You're moving slower than you normally would.
Okay. He'll still move as quickly as he can to the code.
You reach the comm, you reach the control panel, and you see the 5 boxes.
I'll put basil in there.
You put in basil, and the boxes go from red to green.
Then I push stop.
You push the button that hits stop. You guys in the galley, you feel like you've dropped. You know when you come out of the pool and you feel like your whole body is super heavy? Everything just pulls down. Thomas, there's still air leaving this room.
So after I've done that, I was told not to turn it back on again. So I leave.
You leave. It's a struggle. You're pulling yourself out of the room into the corridor. What's everybody else doing?
I was wanting to go...
lasagna.
I was wanting to go to the panel, put my fingers up, and be like, hello, I think we found it.
And who are you communicating with?
I believe it was Rhea.
So Rhea is holding on to the outside of your ship.
Mhm.
You hear copy over the comm. Evie and Ace, what are you doing?
I know I'm supposed to be the captain here, but I'm also 16. So do we kill him or do we not? A whole of teenagers is better than one teenager.
If you look at Trove, there's just sort of a gooey mass behind the pass in the kitchen. If you look in the kitchen, you find most of the rest of the captain in various stages of prep. And Trove is just kind of taking in breaths, but the out breaths are
My name's
not good.
Now, and I shoot him.
He's not going to resist. Roll your fight.
I'm going to spend I'm going to spend whatever it takes to make that a hit.
You take that one last shot to the center, and Trove is still.
I sort of crack my knuckles and go, Avian Trove has a decent ring to it, and walk up.
Nice. It's difficult to get back out into the corridor. Not only do you feel gravity pulling down on you, you guys can feel it also in your brains, like when you're getting a really bad headache and everything is super sluggish. You realize not only are you losing gravity, it's pulling down and in towards the center of this asteroid. The ship is no longer, or the space station is no longer trying to save the asteroid. The asteroid is no longer a positive source of energy.
I heard code lasagna, so click.
Yep.
Everybody bugs out. You reappear on the bridge of your ship, the Persephone. You see, let's see, Ruti, who is the doctor, and you see Rug. Both of them kind of just sort of looking out the windows. You look out towards the window near the viewer and you hear, and you see Rhea's face.
I'm gonna go let her in.
You go over to the airlock and let her in. She climbs in and straightens herself up and she says, where's Trove?
It turns out he was plotting to eat all of you.
He couldn't eat me.
Yes. We found him. He fought back and he was wielding a human femur and your captain's head. Yeah. He's probably dead or going to die quite shortly.
No,
and
he's
quite
dead. I
frankly,
made
don't
sure
give a
that
shit.
he's dead.
Oh, you did it. Okay, never mind. But
When Avian says he's dead, I'm sure of it. The slightly spinning asteroid in the center of this space station stops. And it starts to spin the other way. And it appears as if the space station is starting to collapse around this asteroid.
That could be the start of a black hole or something. I think we should meander
You need
on
to
away.
go.
Hey, Rug, is that supposed to happen?
Rug is standing there, face up against the window. No, my baby. As it continues to collapse in on itself. Chick, you are our pilot, I
Let's
believe.
get out of here.
Roll your flight. And the ship will roll flight as well. Just as you think the ship is going to stall and pull back into the space station, Chick, you give it that nice little boom on the top of the console, and you exit, you escape. Chick has pulled you out. Avian, what do you tell him to do?
Let's find the next adventure.
Okay, murderer.
You say you have this exchange as the three survivors of the space station are
Yeah, where can we
huddled,
take y'all?
standing next to each other, looking at the teenagers who saved their lives.
Kind of hungry. Let's go get a cheeseburger.
Yeah, cheeseburgers sound good. Y'all want some cheeseburgers?
Station on Delta 5 does really good ones.
That's what it is.
Rhea shrugs and says, I don't eat.
We'll find somewhere nice for you to refuel or recharge or whatever. I don't know your power systems.
That actually sounds like a really good idea. As you fly off into space. So in the next little bit, the next adventure, what happens to Ace? What does Ace do next?
Ace is going to probably institute mandatory hand-to-hand combat training.
How do you guys feel about that?
I'm down.
I am not happy.
I get to beat up my brother. This is fun.
The dream of all siblings.
I,
Yes, Chick, what do you do next?
Oh, well, I honestly practice, my camouflage because it doesn't work too well.
Hmm.
Hide around the ship, jump out at people.
What does the future hold for Thomas?
Well, after hearing that he's just randomly jumping out at people, Thomas has developed a slight bit of paranoia. His sister seems to be jumping out at him and attacking him at random locations. Ace is trying to beat him up on occasion. So he gets to learn how to hide better. That's what he's going to do.
And what does Avian do in the near future?
Avian is going to try to milk the fact that she technically got the final kill for all it's worth, and send a very glowing review of her crew, but also herself back to Proliax, and keep her eye out for the next. She's kind of rewritten this in her mind as a total easy victory, and she's ready for the next adventure. She's pushing onward.
Chick, just curious, did you get away with anything?
Oh, yeah.
What did you get away with?
Well, I still have that neat little tool that opens everything.
It's true.
And then I also have those furs.
Were you wearing the furs the whole time?
Yeah. That's why I said I'm not very good at camouflage.
Excellent. So the whole time your body was camouflaging, but it looked like there was just a fur coat stuck to the wall. I enjoy that visual very, very much. What do you guys think holds for the near future for Rhea, our security officer, modified drone?
I don't want to
Mind
speak for the
keeping her
captain or
around?
anything. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Captain, do you offer her a job?
Absolutely. After a mandatory 2-week rest. I'm like, you can start working for us in 2 weeks. In the meantime, chill out. You were outside of the ship for way too long for sentient life.
She appreciates that and accepts your offer. What do you guys think happens to Rug, our engine room operator?
I think we try to offer him a job and he probably insists to like try to start building up a new ship, and so we drop him off somewhere and let him do his thing.
I mean, Ace was going to suggest he gets therapy, but
He did just see his baby like implode. His
yeah,
life's
I
work
mean,
kind of
everybody could
implode.
use some therapy in their lifetime. Maybe this is when he needs it.
Speaking of your life's work imploding, what happens to the doctor?
I think that the doctor has a deep-seated hatred for us, and he becomes a reoccurring villain in our future exploits.
He was a
I
jerk
love
while on the
it.
ship. He was a jerk while he was on the ship. He probably saved like 90% of his work. But of course, he's only focused on the 10% that was missing.
Right.
So if he was
right.
too much of a jerk, Ace would just make a hobby of just, if he was rude, just repeatedly stunning him.
So do I understand that you're just sort of following him around the Persephone, and every once in a while you just like
Either that or I'll get Chick to do it because he can hide in the air vents.
So the Dr. Ruti becomes your mortal enemy, the enemy of the Persephone, because not only did he lose 10% of his life's work in the explosion, he spends the next 2 weeks tiptoeing around the Persephone, not understanding why he's getting shocked every time he turns a corner. He goes mad. I love it. Well, thank you guys so much. I'd love to hear what you guys think of Teens in Space and what you thought of our adventure, and hear a little bit about you guys, and do our post-game conversation, which is honestly part of the best part of the game. One of the best parts of playing games for me.
I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I had a lot of fun with this.
And thank you for DMing for us. It was awesome.
Yes, most
Oh,
definitely.
my pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. This is my first foray into kids on bikes, and this is fun. I
It was
really
a
like
lot of fun.
It was
Now, we talked a little bit about it before. Some of us had experience with kids on bikes before, right? But this was everybody else's first Teens in Space. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I'm a big sci-fi nerd, you know, Star Wars tattoo and everything.
The helmet kind of tipped me off. I'm just going to say.
Really? Really?
It was a clue. It was a clue.
Camouflage,
that?
you know, bad at it.
What was that button he pushed?
Oh, good question. Yes. That button was actually beaming the captain's body into his kitchen. You mentioned that the captain had gotten blown out, and Trove was like, ooh, meat. And so Trove beamed the body into his kitchen. Had you gone around the corner and looked in the kitchen, you would have seen a space frozen captain.
And we would have triggered a fight a lot sooner.
Yeah, I was terrified you guys were to go back in there, because I figured, well, everyone's going to kind of follow the path, and like you did eventually, and sort of clear the rooms as you knew that they were going to explode. But half of you went the other way and hit the galley immediately.
Splitting the party worked.
You just
So-
imagine what a disaster that would have been if we'd set off the fight right there and it was just us.
Always split the party.
always.
Multiple times if you can.
So you guys want to know what you rolled for?
Yeah.
So we
Go
did a
ahead.
couple of rolls before the game. I asked the players to make rolls, and I didn't tell them what it was for. So this is actually a Teens in Space module that was part of a free content Friday. And this is A Menace Among the Space Teens. You guys can see I printed it out. So there in this murder mystery are several different suspects. And these are all the people that you met. And so I had you roll for who it was that was the killer. And you guys rolled Trove. So here it says, if Trove is the menace, an ironic twist. Trove has acquired a taste for living human flesh himself and has gone mad with cannibalistic hunger. When he is discovered, he'll set the kitchen's automatic food preparation robots into overdrive, which the party will have to dodge while also fighting off the giant octopus with butcher knives and each tentacle coming at them. Which is interesting because I asked each three of you to come up with some kind of drone that had a purpose on the ship. And you guys came up with a loading drone, a repair drone, and a food prep drone. So I have to say, when you said food prep drone, I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you very much, and check. So that's what we did. So that is the culprit that you rolled for. And then the other roll that I had you guys do that were random numbers actually placed the parts of the ship. It's going to be backwards when I show it. But I had them out myself. So when I had the list of rooms, then I filled it out. So you guys actually created the ship.
Yeah,
So
I
the
like
order
how
that we went
like
in.
cooperative these games are. Like, this is cool.
That's
you guys-
very cool. I love the narrative nature of it, and it's really awesome. So for our misadventure and the horrible images of people being fried, we have Alex and them to thank for that, right? Because you said it was free content.
Yeah, so this was part of Free Content Friday. I can look it up. Who are our authors on this? I didn't print the part that has their name on it, but it does say Doug and Jeff.
Nice.
So maybe if we post this later, we'll get an opportunity maybe to put a link to this on there.
It's a good thing to show people too, because anybody who wants to try out one of these games, the free content that they just put out on Fridays is top quality stuff. So definitely check that kind of stuff out, and it's free. You know, it's just really cool.
Yeah, for our Rag and Bone fans, there's some really great Outbreak Undead Rag and Bone content that has been coming out that I've been really enjoying reading through. So yeah, definitely join us on Tuesdays for some zombie fun, and check out the Free Content Fridays.
Nice. I know that our group has thoroughly enjoyed the Kids on Bikes variant, Dads on Mowers. It's been fantastic. Yeah, we saved the Super Bowl once, you know, no big. We went on a road trip and saved the Super Bowl. You know, go Seahawks. It was the Seahawks at the time. But yeah, some of that was also, I believe, part of a free content or part of a supplement. And yeah, we thoroughly enjoyed that. Has anyone tried Kids on Brooms?
Yes, I played in one of the non-stream Kids on Brooms tables at the Gen Con debut. And that was so much fun.
I'm certainly looking forward to try it because I know that that's part of the Kids on Bikes Free Content Fridays.
It's really great. Like, that was my first experience with this system in general, and it was so easy to get into. And they had the way the Gen Con folks did it was they had different people coming in and out playing different professors.
Oh, right on.
Oh,
Or that, like,
Nice.
you know, because it's a magic school idea, so you have, you know, professors teaching different things, so puzzles or like little, I wouldn't say little, but scenarios to role play through and so on and so forth. So it was a lot of fun.
What I was really excited about this entire system is, like, I read this book today to prep for the game,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't take long, and it was like, all right, now I know what this system is. I can know what it can do. I know what everything. It was just so easy. It was really cool.
Yeah, Alex actually recommended me to buy Kids on Bikes as my next system because I'm an Outbreak Undead guy.
Right, yeah, and I come from Altered Carbon, and so like these are real crunchy games, and then to come to this, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's really cool.
I'll
Yeah.
have to run a game of Alice is Missing for y'all at some point if you're fans of the.
Oh, that'd be
I
awesome.
volunteer. It was so good the last time you did it.
We'll have to do that because it's another game that you can learn really quickly. There's really not much prep necessary, and is one of my favorites. I've actually got Alice is Missing cards up on my wall there.
That's
nice.
awesome.
I love the artwork so much.
Caleb.
Yeah. And Alice
Yeah,
Missing is another
Caleb.
timed game.
Mhm.
Yeah, this was a timed module, and that's another timed game. Yeah, I'm really impressed with y'all that nobody died.
Yeah, I thought
Thomas,
was gonna
I
die.
tried to kill Thomas there at the end. I tried.
We tried
I
to die.
tried.
I thought that drone was gonna get me.
I thought I
The
was
drone was
Wait.
pretty tough.
seriously.
But Thomas
way-
went into that room all by himself. Avian sent him in there all by himself. I'm like, this is my chance.
It was code word lasagna. That's what saved me.
By the way, can I ask what actually caused the station to just go out of whack like that?
So Trove did do it.
Oh, so it was him the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Trove reprogrammed everything, and his plan was to one by one have portions of
Take
the
off
ship
crew.
to take out the crew, and then he was just going to collect them, like little frozen bits from outside, and cook them all. That was his plan. He did also, if you guys had gone further, he did sabotage that last escape pod, and that key that he had would have activated
Would have let
that
him get
last
off the
escape
ship
pod.
safely.
hmm
Yeah,
But you
I
guys
wasn't
managed to shut
sure
it
I would-
down,
Yeah.
and because when you shut it down, then the whole thing then imploded. Yeah, and I was trying to figure out like how do I'm like, there's basil on the table. He mentions his favorite herbs.
You said basil so many dang times right before that last basil, and then of course Jules said it too. Like I was thinking humans 5 words, like 5 letters. He
Oh,
loves
that would be
eating
good too.
humans. Yeah,
Just imagine you put in basil and it's wrong, and it turns out his favorite herb is thyme.
because he always talked about time too.
That would have been terrible.
Oh, but human would have been really good too.
Mm.
Human would have been good. If I do this again, I'll have to remember that. Although I don't know if Trove will be the culprit.
I still think drone would have been funny if it was Rhea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does
Yes.
the
It just
free
ends up being-
content, does it have different words for each person too as well?
No, that was a part of the game that I put in. So that it's pretty close. The game that we played today is pretty close to the free content game, but based on your guys' answers to our role building questions that we did before the game, and based on how the game progressed, there were some things, obviously as you're game mastering the game, get modified as you go. So the code word panel was something that happened after you guys got the doctor out of the medical bay. I thought for sure there was no way that you guys were going to get him out of there and that he was going to be the next victim. And if he was the next victim, then I was going to have a gravity accident and have you guys find floating pieces of his frozen body in the space station. But you got him out of there. So I had to modify my plan a little bit.
I still love
Not
the
bad for a
person
bunch of
passed out and
teenagers.
Back and the other person
Yeah.
just like, oh, you turned around, boop.
Yeah. And caused him to lose his entire life's work. Oh, I'm sorry, 10%
Kept
of his
90%.
entire life's work. Just before we close out, this is my first time meeting you guys, so I'd actually love to, before we close out, guys, go around the table. We'll start with Ace. And again, just say your name, and then I'd love to hear kind of like what was your first entree into tabletop role-playing games, and then we'll say goodnight. So we'll start with Ace, and we'll go bring ourselves back to ourselves.
Alrighty. Hi, everyone. It has been a pleasure playing with you. My real name is Sin. You can find me on Hunters Entertainment as one of the Twitch moderators. And, well, all over the internet, really. My Twitter is in the Nightbot. And my first experience with tabletop was finding the playbooks for D&D 3.5 in a bookstore when I think I was like 11. No, I was younger than that. I was like 9, and thought, wow, these look really interesting just because they looked super cool, and picked them up and started to read them.
All right, welcome, Sin. Thanks for playing with us.
Thank you for
Thomas, we're gonna come back into ourselves and introduce yourself again and tell us a
Oh,
little
my
about
name
you.
is Red. I am one of the GMs for Hunters in Altered Carbon. You'll find me running at a lot of different places for that. I also run a lot of different games on the internets. You'll find me as Red Wolf pretty much anywhere I go. And then what got me into gaming, I'm old, so I started with original basic Dungeons and Dragons way back in the day, original box sets, and then I moved on to like Mech Warrior first edition when I was real young. Used to play that in high school, which was awesome, and then I've just kind of went all over the place from there.
And Avian, as we return to our human self, you are.
Hello, I have been Avian. My real name is Jules. I am. You can find me on the internet as variants of Jules Does Stuff. Jules Does Stuff on Twitter. Jules Does Stuff 15 on Twitch. Jules Does Stuff Crafts on Instagram. Off of the top of my head. As far as tabletop games go, I am relatively very new to this world. Last year, my sophomore year of college, I just on a whim joined a Dungeons and Dragons group in my dorm, and since just got sucked in to an obsessive degree. The past year and a half of my life has been largely dedicated to this world, and actually found Hunter's Entertainment through finding out about Rag and Bone on Tuesday nights. I moderate there, so say hi in chat, and have really enjoyed the community and everything. So that's me.
And Chick, who are you really?
Hi, I'm Harold. I go by Purple Gorilla 1 on pretty much everything, Twitter, Xbox, what have you. I found out about tabletop gaming through high school, but it was my choir teacher who showed me 3.5, and
Nice.
I just fell in love with the crunch. I'm not even a math guy. I hate math, but I love mathy games, and so that's why I fell in love with Outbreak Undead, and now I'm one of the Action Rangers for that.
Excellent. I am Ann. I have been your game master. You can find me Instagram and Twitter _AnnPierce_. You can also find some of the podcasts and other GM work that I've done. If you look up Inkborn Studio, you can find me there as well. My first gaming experience was actually through my mom. My brother and I were really little, like maybe 5 and 7 years old, and terrible at math. I was failing. So in desperation, in order to teach her children math, my mom taught herself Advanced Dungeons and Dragons and then taught it to us. And I played my first elf, and my brother played his first ranger. And then back in college, was introduced to some of the World of Darkness games, starting with Vampire, and since then have been part of that world, and recently found Kids on Bikes through a friend at work, and got involved with Hunter's Entertainment through actually signing up for the Kickstarter for Alice is Missing and help support that. So now I'm one of the Action Rangers and really happy to be here. So thanks everyone for being here. We hope you enjoyed Community Plays and hanging out with us today over at Hunter's Entertainment at Twitch, and we'll see you soon. Thanks guys.